I had a bunch of limbs. You can see here's one, here's another, up there's another. These limbs were just hanging right over the house, banging against the chimney. And every time the wind blew, they would scratch against the house and do damage. And I had this dilemma because the limbs are leaning against the house. So if I cut the limb here, these are very heavy limbs, then the top will just fall against the house. So how do I cut the limbs and without hiring a professional, which would cost a lot of money? How do I do it low cost and allow the limbs to fall down here and not against the house? So my strategy was as follows. I tied a piece of rope at the top of the limb, for example, here. Top of the limb right here, tied a piece of rope. Now these limbs were not as big as this one, but imagine it's this high. And then I cut the limb on that side of the limb, but I only cut it enough to crack the limb. I did not cut it enough where the limb would fall on its own, because if it fell, it'd fall against the house. So imagine, I'll get a closer look here. So it's kind of hard to see this here. I cut the limb on this side about halfway, and then while it was still strong enough to hold itself up without falling, I then pulled the limb this way towards where I am standing now. And with the rope, I may have even, another way you can do it is you can put the rope around one of these other limbs here. But I didn't do that. I just cut it on the opposite side halfway. It was still strong enough that it wasn't leaning against that it wouldn't fall on its own. And then because the rope is all the way on the top, with the momentum, I pulled the rope down to where I am, and the limb just cracked, and it fell this way against the ground, on the ground here, and not that way against the house. And that's how I did it.
Come down quick. Forget the saw. Come down. One, two, three. I pray to that. Now they both fall at the same time. They both fall at the same time. We'll leave it going around. A little bit higher up. Go further back. I need a glove. My piece probably.